guys, it's DJ Angie C and handsome boyfriend Dave, and we are on summer break, so please enjoy these little best of the worst talk shows. We will see you back in September. Hopefully we'll have a live show and a better platform. Yay! See you guys in September.
Bye.
Lewis Warren, have you heard about the French winemaker who demanded origin control regarding his vineyard, specifically for UFOs, and got it? Interesting. I did not know that, but there's so much that's that we're going to be made aware of that we aren't, that I'm pretty excited.
I really hope this isn't like Al Capone's vaults back in the day.
Me too. At this point though, I mean, they're just happening with such frequency. You got to stop like pretending it's, you know, swamp gas and weather balloons. Like,
by the way, Christian's he's not showing off, but it's 2 albums.
What? Live stuff is on Bandcamp. We knew about that. I forgot. And then, oh my goodness. So 2 albums. For anybody that isn't aware of pretty much the greatest band to come out of Boston, I know that's saying a lot, but seriously, Think Tree was like it.
Pretty cool.
And if you mention that in certain crowds, people be like, hi, we're best friends. Like, it really is. They were just such an incredible band, and I'm so happy we're going to get some new music. Yay! Years after I had left FNX, even years after FNX itself had left as an entity, people would still call and ask about Higher Bird. Like me, like, what is that song? Who did that? How can I get that? You know, it's just
one of my favorite voices to do.
Legendary. Yep, Sean O'Brien says they were amazing. Lewis, Think Tree is so awesome. Nikki T, I too believe in UFOs and other life out there. No big whoop. Exactly. At this point, if you don't believe it, you're just a moron, and we don't have time for your kind anymore. All right. So UFOs
good night,
are real.
everyone.
Now that we're all caught up, let's talk Disney Plus. Let's talk The Bad Batch. I know we're Star Wars nerds, and it was May the 4th yesterday. Oddly enough, neither one of us wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. I'm repping the Rupert selection, and you're repping that tiny little band.
A little group called Van Halen.
Van Halen.
Yep.
Very nice.
I heard they're pretty cool. I don't know any of their music.
All right, so Krishna says there are 2 live albums on Bandcamp from Think Tree to download now. European tour, board tapes, etc. Some Paradise ships.
Nice.
Oh, great. Excellent. I look forward to that as well. So we watched The Bad Batch. We actually just finished it. The first episode is really long.
It was a good batch.
And for those that maybe don't know the premise of the show, why don't you explain it a little bit to them?
Okay, so there is this galaxy far, far away. And it's a long time ago.
Okay, let's not mansplain. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes.
Okay. It's at the closing days of the Clone Wars.
And most of the Clone Wars stuff is computer animated.
Right, the series is, right? Yeah. So this part happens on the day that Kenobi defeats Grievous. That's going to be the end of the war. And Emperor Palpatine gives the order, execute Order 66, which is the order to kill all the Jedi.
So that's like as we open.
And the Bad Batch is, what is it, the Group 99?
Yeah, so it's a group of 5 soldiers, and they're all clones.
They're all clones, but they're all defective.
4 of them were mutations of the original clones. So they don't like authority. They're also extremely good at what they do. And
certain ones. One's a big Brutus guy. One's a sharpshooter.
One's an excellent shot. One's really
super
smart. Yeah.
One's the technology guy. He's not a clone though. And then the leader is, they call him Hunter. He's got like senses that are, elevated.
Yes, he's a sensitive person, but not in a sensitive ponytail way.
Kind of like.
Anyway, if you were on the fence about watching it, because maybe you're not down with animation these days or whatever, but if you are a Star Wars fan, you're going to need to watch this, and they're probably going to tie things into it. And Dave Filoni's running the whole thing.
They already did.
You're right. Previously, I'm just saying we're going to get even more tie-ins now. So we loved it.
By the way, Grand Moff Tarkin
Yes.
is still just an admiral.
Oh, at this
at
point,
this time.
right. It's a lot of prequel stuff, really, and maybe it'll make those movies seem better to some people. I don't know. We also discovered some more nerdy stuff on Disney Plus. Did you know that they have these vehicle fly-throughs where you can actually, it's like having a drone go through every piece of the Millennium Falcon, although I imagine it's computer
It's all computer generated, but it looks very realistic.
gorgeous. And you could check that out.
Inside and outside.
And what was the other? The Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer, inside and
God.
outside.
We're just total nerds, but we were like, oh my God, that looks so cool.
I was a little upset that nobody from Lucasfilm called me to be like, hey, Dave.
This Star Wars Comic-Con moment is being brought to you by The Worst Talk Show. Thank you, Kevin Tachi. If only. It is one of my dreams in life to get to Skywalker Ranch. If anybody can make that happen for me, that would be groovy. You know what? I might consider actually marrying you if we got an invitation to the Skywalker Ranch, so we could be like Kevin Smith and his wife and get married at Skywalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Maybe. Anyway, enough of
Keeping
Star
my fingers
Wars.
crossed, guys. Boys and girls.
Welcome to the 14th episode of The Worst Talk Show. I'm Angie C. That is handsome boyfriend Dave. And together we are in mourning officially. R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen. I don't even know how we're going to get through tonight, folks, but we're going to get through it together. Okay? Dave, can you talk a little bit about the guitar? So people, I mean, almost everybody's,
So.
I don't see anybody popping up yet. Okay, there they are.
Yeah, so I've loved Van Halen since I was a wee lad. And, you know, the cool thing is when you're into music and you have kidlets, you can, like, influence them. And the influence that I received as a young boy about music was not good.
I was going to say, who?
Not constructive. Okay? Never learn how to... No. All right. But... So anyhow, my oldest son, Connor, who's now in the Air Force, ladies and gentlemen.
We're very proud
doing
of him.
pretty well.
Has anyone done any comments? There we go. Nikki T is here. By the way, Nikki T, we got your postcard. We love you. I love getting things in the mail from you. Mwah.
What a random postcard that was. It was like a
great.
homemade one.
Yeah,
like it was
yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So anyhow, I got my kid into Van Halen at an early age.
Hello, Sean O'Brien.
Hey, Sean. So, let me see. His first concert was this concert. He and I went to Van Halen back with David Lee Roth, but Wolfie was playing bass.
Yes.
Okay? Saw them at the Garden. His grandmother got us boardroom seats, which pretty much meant that we saw Van Halen sitting in leather smoking chairs as a chef fed us London broil.
I don't think that's how you're supposed to see Van Halen.
Guys, it was so loud it hurt my ears. It was crazy. It might be the loudest concert I've ever been to.
Yeah, and we should definitely talk about loudest concerts because I've got a few doozies as well.
So this guitar.
And what is it referred as? The Franken guitar?
This is the Frankenstein. Now this one here is it's a knockoff. We're not gonna.
Yeah, we're not trying to pretend.
Fender headstock. What? Lawsuit. So this is kind of based on the San Dimas Super Strat. One pickup, one knob, and I'm in the process of putting a floating bridge on it.
Jim Pericotti, his loudest concert was Kiss.
I'm sorry.
By the way, the first loudest show in a small club was El Dopa, Middle East Downstairs. I stood way too close to a speaker, and that's when my tinnitus was born.
Are we really talking about El Dopa right now when Eddie Van Halen died?
No. We're just talking about loudest concerts that come up. Wow, second place. Oh, is that Soulfly? Anyway,
all right,
the other loudest concert, and Kay Hanley will attest to this because she and I were together, them Crooked Vultures. John Paul Jones, the man likes it loud. And then some. At one point, we literally had to like go outside in the smoking area because it was that loud.
See that? Van Halen. Oh, is it all it's all backwards.
Yes, because we're on Facebook.
Oh,
it's
man.
all mirror image.
But this actually is a sticker that we got at the concert for a different thing. We're not going to mention the radio station. They're giving out stickers. The old Mike FM was giving out stickers.
Yeah.
But it looks like a ticket, and it says Van Halen, The Garden, Tuesday, October 30th, 2007.
So that's nice.
So,
it's a little piece of memorabilia for you.
So Connor was 10 years old when we went to Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Van Halen is the reason that my son took up guitar. That's his guitar. I bought him that. It's a knockoff from China. But when your kid loves Eddie Van Halen, you know.
Listen, I don't know any kid that wouldn't want to play guitar after going to a Van Halen show.
I don't have
honestly.
any. I don't have. He played before that because he had this guitar before that.
What is Sean saying, by the way? I leaned up against a PA stack the first time I saw My Bloody Valentine because I'm smart. Oh my God, Sean, it's like we're twinning. Seriously, like ridiculously loud shows, and we just like harmed ourselves accidentally on purpose.
I think we should just wrap up right now. I can't even deal with these people.
I know,
talking
Dave.
about.
Well, everybody who wants to, say a few words about Eddie Van Halen, this is your safe space.
Well, I'll tell you, Connor's old room.
Yeah.
I took the door off.
Right.
And I painted it like the Frankenstein guitar. His door. So the door to his room was Eddie Van Halen's guitar completely, the whole thing.
When I think Van Halen, a couple things come to mind right away, and specifically Eddie, of course. One is the fact that when I was maybe 13, and I had gone to a local carnival that used to be where I think Eastman Gelatin and Peabody. There's like a big empty field, and they would always throw a carnival in there. And I walked down by myself in my jean jacket with smokes. Like I think there were a couple cigarettes I stole from Mom.
Wow!
And I met some of my friends.
Any
down
patches
there.
on the jean jacket?
And the bobsled or whatever had the loud had.
So let it whip.
Yeah. No, they had Van Halen covering the Kinks. You really got me. Because back then it was all heavy rock and roll that was played on that particular ride.
That's off of Van Halen 1.
So I got off of that. I walked over to the throwing darts game and won myself the most beautiful sky blue Van Halen tapestry. That was,
nobody can see that.
It was quite large.
It was quite large.
And it hung over my bed pretty much until college, I want to say.
When you became too cool for Van Halen.
Before that, it was the half-naked David Lee Roth with the hair down coming out of the pool poster, and then it was just the tapestry. But my other favorite Van Halen memory, I mean, there were many, but working with Brian the Pharmacist, a.k.a. Brian Mulhern, who's now Superstar Cat Country radio in Providence, he had a Van Halen Velcro wallet. And this is the 90s, mind you, and he had had it since the early 80s, and the thing was like disintegrating, and he refused to get rid of it. And he was just, I feel so, he was one of the first people I thought of, other than Dave, obviously. I had to break the news to Dave. He literally screamed out loud, F you 2020, to the entire neighborhood when I broke the news about Eddie. But Brian Mulhern Brian Mulhern is having the worst 2020 probably on record. And my heart goes out to you, my brother, because I can only imagine how difficult this particular news was to you. So anybody who talks to Brian the Pharmacist, please make sure you give him an extra air hug from me. Keith Bennett is here.
Hello, Keith.
Keith's, as many people's avatars or profile pictures on their socials is of the Franken guitar.
Frankenstrat, yeah.
The Frankenstrat graphic. That's pretty much across the board. I go on any social media feed that I'm on.
He made his own guitar. Like he just.
It's either a picture of Eddie playing, a picture of Eddie smiling playing, which I'll get to in a minute.
Almost always.
Or that guitar. And beyond everything else that I loved about Eddie Van Halen, the thing that always stayed with me was how joyful he was when he played. He was the first rock guitar god that I saw on MTV as a wee lass who was smiling and laughing and enjoying himself. And because he knew something everybody else didn't, he was the best. And then I was like, okay, Dave, what are you watching next? And he's like, I'm going to watch...
Because we watched the British show about houses, they immediately put in the queue the Repair Shop is the name of the show.
Now, before we get to the Repair Shop, Keith Bennett is saying, you goobers need to binge Toast of London. That's all I need. A recommendation from you is going on the list.
That's it.
Hi, Kristen. So he starts watching the Repair Shop, and as soon as I see the title, I'm like, I'm out. I'm going upstairs. I'll see you later.
But immediately, you are the host. Totally. Okay, is this English guy? He's you can't say African American. He's a black guy.
Yes.
Okay, and he is, you know, he's all about the apples and pears and the lift and the. He's got
great accent,
super charming,
scally cap,
right, and like
terrible teeth.
Yeah, you know,
but totally gorgeous.
I thought
dude.
He was for a second there. I was like, wow, is he the singer of Fine Young Cannibals? Like with the mouth. But anyhow,
I think he's much hotter than that dude. But they don't just repair
immediately.
Things. Yeah,
it was like we forget there was a woman. So what it is it's like Antiques Roadshow.
Well, except not obnoxious.
Only the people bring the thing to them to be fixed.
Okay, so it's a repair shop somewhere in England.
And they have specialists in everything.
Right, so this is specialists for everything, whether it's like wooden furniture or old-timey toys or stained glass window repair. And they restore things in such a loving manner that you're fascinated, you're sucked in. I not only stayed for that episode.
The craftsmanship is ridiculous.
I think there were 2 more episodes. Okay,
how about this? This woman comes in with a violin. No bridge on it. No stay. It's got the fingerboard is off of it.
Yeah, it's all jacked
okay.
Up.
It's a mess. Okay, come to find out, it was her aunt's, her great aunt.
Yes.
And she played in the band at Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what made her survive it.
Right.
Okay, so this violin played at Auschwitz. Okay, and then was handed down to this woman's father.
Right.
Okay.
So there's a particular part of the violin when they go and look at it and they see that one of the repairs was actually made in the camps.
Right. Somebody repaired the violin in the camp.
So they wanted to keep that because obviously it's very important.
And it is
historical.
Like unbelievable craftsmanship.
Yeah,
and it's like mesmerizing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the guy opens the, how about this? What about the mouse? So the guy opens.
Yeah, we learn all new things.
This guy opens, takes the top, he cuts the top, the whole top off of this.
Yeah, so the violin, when they make it, they glue the top to the bottom, but to get it off, you just sort of, there's like a
slice
little,
the glue.
It's not a butter knife, it's almost like a putty knife.
Yeah.
That you sort of scrape along and you pull it off. So they're not really ripping anything off. I mean, just glue. It's not, it doesn't harm the wood if they do it right.
Right, if they do it right, and this guy was right.
Yeah.
They found out who the violin was made by. It was signed inside.
Which he wasn't expecting.
The guy was like, "Whoa! All right, this is great."
And you're like, you're at home.
The violin was like from like,
oh my god!
Yeah, the violin was from like 1890, and you were like, "Oh my! Oh, I caught the vapors."
And then
there's this little ball, a little tiny ball inside the violin
of what appears to be
like lint or anything, right? So what it is they call it the mouse. Now, you violin players might know this. Most people don't. I didn't know this, which is surprising to me, right? Because I think I know everything. But the mouse is from using the bow. The hair from the bow wears off with use.
And like dust or whatever.
And goes in the F-hole.
Yeah.
And over time, And over time, it turns into a tiny little tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool, and they call it a mouse, and it's a thing, and they actually
put the mouse
new violin
for good luck.
For good luck. So that was. Really
and they
cool.
replaced the mouse back into the fixed violin, and we all had a little cry for ourselves.
We really did
because they had.
Like
this is where they go.
World renowned.
This is where they go. They had a guy who was in some sort of philharmonic. He actually came, so the guy fixed the violin from soup to nuts. The violin was from the 1890s. He fixes the violin, and they have this violinist come in and play. But it wasn't just
play.
There's
more.
They asked the woman, "What kind of music did you like?"
And she said her father would play Hungarian.
Yeah, like Hungarian. I forget what it's called.
Violin
There's a certain
music.
kind of music.
Yeah.
You know, where it's almost like a gypsy sounding. You would affiliate it with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they bring a guy in who knows how to play everything. And he goes, "Oh yeah, well I heard the story, and I know. Oh, you like this style because they already asked her. You know they did." And he goes, "I wrote this for you."
So he wrote her a song.
He wrote her a song, and he played it on this violin, and you were transported back to like 1938 Poland. Okay.
It was just, you know, and you're like, there's no way you're not going for the tissues. Like, it's very emotional, and they always go out of their way to do stuff, and it's just wonderful. Please check it out and let us know what you think. It's called The Repair Shop, and it's on Netflix. Cute alert, did you guys see the quokka I posted the other day?
Okay.
Did you guys even know that this animal existed?
I just said hi to Alan, and you're like, "Cute alert." So, hey, have you seen pictures of this thing? It's not a koala.
And it's not a wallaby, right?
Right.
It's a marsupial.
It kind of resembles a koala a little bit, but not as bulbous. It's like it's smaller faced.
So if you cross like a koala bear with the little groundhog or whatever from Caddyshack.
From Caddyshack, right.
Those two together make a real life animal in Australia.
At resting, there's a big smile.
Yeah, they're like, "Hi." And
so the quokka's looking up at you, and he could be thinking, "I want to rip your throat out," and he's like this.
"Hi, hi, hi." Oh my God, they're the cutest things ever. I'll repost that as well. That was definitely like a cutie patootie alert. And one of our friends actually got to hang out with them in Australia, and she posted pictures, and we were dying.
They're like, "Look it, you cannot feed these things. Like you'll be out sitting at a table out somewhere. Don't touch them, don't feed them." Meanwhile,
I'm assuming they're an endangered species.
They come right up to you.
They're wicked cute.
So you're looking down, and there's a quokka looking up at you like.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's QUOKKA if you want to look it up. They're darling. I didn't know they existed, and I didn't know the Northern Mariana Islands or whatever existed.
We're an American territory.
Found that out last night in the Democratic Convention. Thank you very much. Had no idea.
So the quokkas, come on,
Wicked cute.
You can't glaze over the quokka.
No, quokka, quokka, quokka.
Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to have like Brett or Jermaine from the Flying Conchords do the voice for the quokka. Like, "Hey, you know, like, how are you? You know, like, so, what are you guys doing? You know, like, hey, we're all just hanging out here. You know.
You gonna eat that?
Hey, you don't want to eat that. Look at that thing."
And if Dave didn't want to go to Australia enough, now we
Oh my God, Taika Waititi. That's whose voice I wanted on there.
Yeah, well, that's whose voice you want in real life as well.
What can I say?
So let's talk about the video. First of all, gorgeous. You look gorgeous. And the shimmery dress situation with the makeup. I'm sorry, I'm getting very girly on everybody here for a minute, but like.
It's allowed.
Let's talk about that video.
Okay. So first of all, I bought that dress a few years ago for Megan Tracy's wedding. And then I was like, I'm wearing it. It's glam. And then I was like, it's too much. So I had to Not
too much.
So I've been sitting on this full length. That dress is full length, by the way. I've been sitting on that full length dress for like 3 years now. And Maya Landy did my hair and makeup. I will say that the hair extensions came courtesy of Jen Thompson from about 6 years ago when we were.
Isn't Jen Thompson also your wig wrangler for bikini?
Yeah. I mean, she's one of my best friends, but yes, she is.
Obviously,
amongst other things.
But she does have quite a collection, does she not? Yeah.
She does all the hair things I've ever done is pretty much because of her. And Jenny Bergman is basically, I mean, everything goes to her. The credit all goes to her. I was very, very reticent to do this video. I didn't want to, but I was one of those things where everyone's like, no, you have to do a video. People always do videos. This is
right. Well, I mean, in the biz, it was called an EPK, right? So it's an electronic press kit, essentially.
Yeah.
So, but it is, visually, people respond to visuals more than audio anyway. So it makes perfect sense to promote it. However, you're sort of bearing your soul in more ways than one when you're putting yourself on camera.
Right.
So I could see why that
so
might be.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of like having to look at myself on camera and having to go through the process and honestly having to spend the money, I was just like, like very, it was hard. It was a hard sell. And Jenny, at one point I think I was crying on the phone to her about how anxious I was. And then Jenny was like, I got this. And I was like,
she did. It's a gorgeous video.
Kelly Davidson was there as a PD and she was just, and also got me whiskey, which was much needed.
So a lot of ladies on this video.
Yeah, it was just it was a four of it. It was me and Maya and Jenny and Kelly, and it was so fun. It was honestly like just one of the best days I had in a couple of years. I felt comfortable. I felt more confident than I had felt in seriously years. And it was like just a fun experience.
Well, it totally shows. Did you, and as far as like, was there like storyboards and a concept, or was it just all Jenny and sort of her vision?
Jenny was like, she kept referencing like late 70s, early 80s Sheena Easton. She was just like, I just want, when you watch, it always made me think of I remember watching Crystal Gale on Solid Gold.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, the sort of like soft lighting and the cheesy, crappy lip syncing and like the over the top acting of the video and the goal. And then I was like, and just with the hair and the makeup for me, it was also very Loretta Lynn kind of vibe too. And
yeah, I mean, it's glamorous, but it's also really down to earth in a weird way. You know what I mean? It's
kind of me, right? In a nutshell.
Yeah, that is true. So before we introduce the video, are you playing soon? Where can people come see you? What's going on now that everybody's sort of getting back out there?
Yeah, nope, got nothing.
Wow, that was quick. All right, that's the show, ladies
All
and
right,
gentlemen.
well, if there are any bookers in the audience.
We said bookers.
I don't have anything booked yet. I mean, I'm gonna do like a big old EP release when this monster comes out for sure. So hopefully in the early fall that will be the thing. Okay. In the meantime, yes, I'm fully available for all session work and gigs.
Excellent. Well, you heard it here first. So hire this lady, por favor.
She can sing.
It's also gonna piss off Dan because he hates when I do session work.
Well, if we can.
You're a singer now. You're a soloist. I know.
Dan is the nicest guy in the world. He won't stay mad for long.
No, it's true.
Right. All right. So we hope to see you soon, in person so we can hug it out anyway.
Somewhere.
But also we need to
at some show.
I need to hear your powerhouse voice in person like sooner than later. So let's make sure that happens. What?
I'm down to the lake house.
There's a lake house?
I live on a lake now. I live by
You do?
Yeah, I live in this tiny little cabin on a lake by myself with my dog.
All right, we'll come. Twist our arm.
Where are you, in Montana?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in Plainville. It's next to, it's like
it's next to Fancyville.
Oh, you're ridiculous. All right, so please, everybody enjoy this video. The song is called Undone. It's from the forthcoming EP, possibly to be named. You asked for this?
I may have asked for this.
I
might
may
for
have
this.
asked for this.
Mm.
Erica Mantone, thank you. We love you.
Thank you for being
Thank
on
you
with
guys so
us.
much. It was so good to see you. I miss you so much.
I know we miss you too. All right, Ethan, put that video on.
Seems as if we're governed by the minds of and burning up our thoughts to fuel the fire. Mired by the smoke, the flames growing bold, to lose the pure idea of what we are. Oh my undone heart, breathe every start. Quietly and slowly, you will come to know me. I'm happening before your eyes. Oh my undone heart, breathe every sigh. Try, oh yeah. I hope this is a different ending. Question safely in our own depths behind truth. Would honesty be hard for you? For you, for you, for you. Oh my undone heart, breathe every
Totally get the Crystal Gale vibes now.
I was waiting for the interpretive dance.